welcome back. In my horrible Mace voice, welcome back to the Dumb Marks podcast. New year, same show with the best four-man booth in the business. You got a triple threat today, although we will have the voice of the voiceless, Chris, chiming in from time to time. He's battling some issues right now, but he will chime in here shortly on different comments as we progress throughout the show. Gentlemen, happy New Year. Yeah. Happy New Year. Welcome back. Did we enjoy the break? Did we recharge the batteries? I saw some unboxings, some beers, some drink of the week stuff went up there. Good job, guys. I appreciate that. Jay, you said no recharge of the batteries.
I had time off. I'm still tired, man.
You're always tired. You're like you're a walking. What's the where you just fall asleep all the time?
Narcoleptic.
Yeah, you're a walking narcoleptic. I see Donald's ready to play today.
I'm good.
Yeah, down there. Look at you.
They're bringing sexy back.
I got that. They got my little anime stuff going on. My little JoJo and some Attack on Titan looks. Some Persona 5. You know.
I thought you were going with the Joey Badafuko. You was going to bring out the little the little.
I got my
that's there hanging out there.
I got my little fake Yu-Gi-Oh chain, the Millennium Puzzle here. You know,
put some white stuff on their nose.
No, that's outside.
Hey, but look at your outfit. It made me so. While we were away, your boy, I went to a gentleman's establishment, and let me tell you, going to a gentleman's establishment during COVID is a wild experience. It is a wild experience. Like
plexiglass dances.
No, there was none of that. The mask was on.
The ladies come with the mask.
The mask was on. Every time a performer was out on stage, she had her own cleaning products to wipe the stuff down with and everything else. Yeah, man, it was wild. I almost felt like it was an outer body experience because I just kept looking around like, is this a live social experiment? Like, what is happening right now? But man,
she came with a shower caddy out there.
Just came, like, oh, do I gotta tip you for using the Lysol wipes? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What's going on? Oh yeah, but no, sometimes certain people give you a call and say, hey, I'm going through some stuff. I need a night out. And I'm like, cool, I got you. Let's go. So I did it to take a friend out to pump up his spirits a little bit and enjoy a night out. So yeah, but man, it was wild time, boy. Wild time. So yeah. So that was
a good establishment.
Yeah, it was.
Or did you got some hole in the wall?
So it was a borderline hole in the wall that did renovations during the 2-year pandemic. Let me just put it to you that way. So
that PPP loan came in.
Yeah. They got that.
They got that PPP loan.
Yeah.
Shiny poles now.
Yeah, nice big working neon sign on the outside of the building. Like, yeah. Yep. I'm guessing you don't tip with Lysol wipes. You tip for them using the Lysol wipes.
Make it rain like.
Yeah.
I just put Lysol on my Pop-Tart.
You ruined the Pop-Tart. Yeah, I see where this year's going. I see where this pod's going. I like it. I like the energy. We're good. That's what I'm here for. So that was my little adventure while we were off. Appreciate all you guys tuning in to the show like normal. Thank you guys. Last year was a good year for us. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys supporting the show, buying the merch. We appreciate you guys downloading the episodes, whether it's audio only or going to YouTube and watching the videos, Facebook, Twitter every week. We got some numbers back and we got work to improve, which is why we sent out some questions to you guys and got feedback, and that feedback again was very much appreciated, and we're going to work in new stuff throughout the year on the show. So keep that coming. Let us know what you like and don't like, and then got a little surprise for you guys later on in the show that's going to add a little spice to the show throughout the year. So, with that being said, anything else that you guys want to get into in the intro? Smash or trash? Any gaming news, Donald? What you got?
Yeah, the gaming news wise, it was the CES show this weekend, and Sony had a little panel going on, and they actually announced the specs for the PlayStation VR 2. So they don't know when it's coming out, but the specs are the visor itself. You don't need no camera anymore. The visor itself has 4 cameras on it. So you just pop the visor on and go right at it. The visor is actually a OLED, it's an OLED screen. It's 4K. It runs at 90 to 120 megahertz refresh. Each eye is going to have 2,000 megapixels in it to 2,000 to like 2,100 megapixels. So you're definitely going to be like tapped in to the matrix with this thing. And also they have the haptic feedback that's in the visor too. So if you get conked over the head in the video game, you can feel it in your head. If you like walking in rain, you can feel the raindrops. And actually, the producer back there, could you throw on the picture I sent over the other day? And they're actually going to have just one cable hooked up to the PlayStation. This is actually, I have the VR one for the PS4, and this is how many cords you had to hook it up just to play VR. So it's the camera, it's all kind of stuff. I mean, there was wires and wires for days. There's like 9 different connections.
That's a fire hazard.
Yeah, so they only got one cord from the visor into the PlayStation now. So that's it. So yeah, they don't know when it's coming out, but they gave you all the specs and everything. So it's definitely going to be tapped into the matrix with that.
Now, will that cross over to the metaverse? Will you be able to tap into that as well? This is going to be so interesting to follow. Mm-hmm. with this as it moves forward and different things and everything else. I watched a video the other day from the metaverse about people shopping at Walmart, and I was like, this is nuts. Like, I don't know if we're moving in a positive direction or not, but I'm gonna enjoy watching people go on the trip and see how it works out for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then another announcement from Naughty Dog. They're doing a remake of The Last of Us 1. I probably announced that a couple episodes ago, and it's going to come out in late this year. They're going to try to release it right with the TV show that will be on HBO. And they also said they might do a director's cut for The Last of Us Part 2. So Naughty Dog is out there trying to do big things at the end of the year for them. And that's all the gaming news I have. And the one TV thing I had for all the anime fans out there, reason I'm dressed like this, Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2 comes out tomorrow. So cannot wait for that to come out.
So blow his phone up while he's watching.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that. Now, for the manga readers, you know what to expect. For the anime readers, it's going to be a roller coaster.
Nice. All right, Jay, you got anything?
I'm over here eating peach cobbler Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, I was trashed that.
Pretty damn good. And where they at the ultimate chocolate Oreos.
They're actually red, not pink.
That's the light shining in the room that's making them look pink.
I just coated everything in Lysol, so if I pass out, that's what happens. This ain't going to waste.
This ain't going to waste.
It ain't going to waste.
Since you brought up some snack stuff, a couple weeks ago, actually the week after, in between Christmas and New Year's, there was a study that came out regarding the best pizza cities across the country, and Pittsburgh ranks second out of every city across the country for the best pizza in all of the United States. Yeah, so I know most people around here know your Fioris and Vincent's, Minios, Aiellos. The list goes on and on as far as pizza places. So there was 300 metropolitan areas that were involved in the study, and there were 3 primary factors that went into the results: percentage of pizza restaurants to all restaurants in the city, number of pizza restaurants per square mile, and number of pizza restaurants per 1,000 residents. So based on that criteria, all that says is that Pittsburgh for pizza is like Seattle with Starbucks. There's one on every corner.
What makes the most?
Yeah.
Not quality, just quantity.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of quality around the city. Don't get me wrong. There's
diversity,
trash, but there is a lot of quality. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. The only city that we fell behind was Rochester, New York. So they were number one on the list. But
they kind of all got the same style pizza.
Not even New York City. Wow.
Yeah. Not even New York City, right? So
are they getting lunchable pizzas up there? They getting was it the cold pizza with the loose cheese? They get that up there.
That's a DeSalle's half baked, brother. You get that half baked with the fresh cheese on it. Fire. So yeah, so that was a little fat kid news that came out while we were away. So, all right, anybody got anything else for the intro?
Good.
All right, let's hop right into the regular shits and giggles for the rest of the show. Let's go. All right, so bell to bell this week. This for if you're a professional wrestling fan, this week is probably the greatest week in pro wrestling history. I don't know how you're consuming all of the wrestling that's going on this week. You might be sleeping 1 to 2 hours a day, but as far as shows go, quantity goes, quality, this week has had everything. We started with day one on Saturday, went into Raw on Monday, NXT New Year's Eve on Tuesday. We had New Dynamite Wednesday, New Japan both nights. Rampage, SmackDown last night, New Japan Wrestle Kingdom Day 3, New Japan World versus Noah, and Hard to Kill tonight. Well, New Japan, I guess New Japan would have already happened because they're ahead. But Hard to Kill tonight. So
and Battle of the Belts.
And Battle of the Belts. So yeah, I don't know. Some of us got to pick and choose what we watch based off of what you like, dislike. But yeah, just overall as a concept, like to me, this would be like wrestling's like March Madness. That first week in March Madness where it's Thursday through Sunday and it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
This is what I equate to that from an analogy standpoint. So we're not going to go into every show and break down everything else. We got some generalized topics to get into this week. To keep the discussion going. But overall, did you guys enjoy the week? Did you feel like you missed out on stuff because there was so much wrestling? Would you consume? Just thoughts overall on the general week that was in pro wrestling.
I forgot AEW switched over to TBS. So when I checked on my DVR, it was nothing.
Yeah, you would have thought that would have caused a problem for a lot of people, but numbers came in and they did over 1 million on Wednesday, so people
now,
paid attention.
Are they already automatically on the on-demand cycle?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so that's what they got to work on. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, because I know for me personally, like I made sure I went on and switched the recording on my DVR for TBS, so I knew that I got it. Yeah. But I don't know if it's automatic, if it went to the automatic right away, or if it's going to be a week or two before they get that switched over and moved over. So,
for mine, I just have to hit the plus on the live, the plus on the program itself, and then it finds it no matter what.
Okay.
Oh, you got that bougie TV. You got that bougie cable.
That's that YouTube TV.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
The only thing I watched was just the AEW stuff. I mean, like I said before, I'm so wrestling fatigued. I didn't even come across anything else.
This week could definitely negatively or positively give you wrestling fatigue for sure. Hopefully, once tonight ends, we'll kind of get back into a normal schedule. Even though a normal schedule is a lot of wrestling to consume during a week.
It was still 5 days, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Those two.
Damn near. Yeah. So
It's about to be Rumble season, so hopefully I can rev it up.
All right. Well, since you brought up the Rumble, let's jump into some general stuff that happened, especially the stuff that seemed to break the internet last night. This wasn't initially on the pre-production meeting list because Friday had not happened yet. So when it came up last night, I was like, oh, we got to pull an audible and talk about this. But the big old thing that broke the internet last night was on SmackDown. They ran through about 18 participants in the Women's Royal Rumble this year. And one of those participants is what broke the internet last night. Mickie James was announced to be back in this year's WWE Royal Rumble. Not only was she announced, but she was also mentioned specifically by name by Pat McAfee as Impact Women's Wrestling Champion Mickie James. So is this WWE going through the quote-unquote forbidden door, or is this WWE needing women to fill out a Rumble, and Mickie James was the benefit of that since she had a previous working relationship with WWE? What are your guys' thoughts on overall with the announcement of Mickie James and Impact potentially playing in the same sandbox as WWE?
For me, it was probably needing a participant and then doing right by her.
Yeah, her exit. Yeah, we all know her exit with the trash bag. She had some comments for Nick Khan, Soprano knockoff, some other things not being said. But as the saying goes in wrestling, never say never, right?
Very true.
Never would have thought Eric Bischoff would show up on WWE programming. I mean, he's been there countless times. Hell, he just reappeared a couple weeks ago on Raw to officiate a wedding after he got fired, after being rehired. So business is business. Good business people know when to do business and when business is right for them. And obviously, Mickie felt like this was a right move for her. I'm sure she came in with some, I don't want to say demands, but came in with some caveats as to, okay, I'll do this. However, you're going to have to mention these things or do these things. My question is, by them doing that last night, did they spoil the women's knockout championship match tonight at Hard to Kill, which is a Texas death match between Nikki and Deonna? Did they give the ending away? I mean, you're not going to announce her as Impact Women's Impact Women's Champion and then have her show up at the Rumble with no belt. So does that spoil
you could
the match?
You could. I mean, the belt doesn't matter for people already tuning in.
Scott D'Amore and Deonna did good work on Twitter last night, tweeting out, hey, congratulations. D'Amore was like, congratulations, but she still has to get through Deonna. And Deonna was like, yeah, you can run down the ramp and enter the Rumble, but you're not going to have my championship with you. They did a good job that way. I felt like whenever I saw it, I was excited at first. I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, is this real? You know what I mean? And the way that they did it, I thought it was like Charlotte trolling everybody, and she was rolling out like a Royal Rumble entrant list from like 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Because of the names that were popping up. I'm like, all right, is this a troll job by her or what? But it's real, so we'll see where it goes off and running.
Yeah. It was just odd for the list anyway, just to come out like, hey, here goes the participants, except like the pitcher.
I mean, everybody's going to be in it, so.
yeah, with the roster being so, minimum.
You're surprised it'll probably be Alexa and Bailey unless they announce stuff like that on Raw. I hope they don't do another list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the legends they announced was, people you expected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave away 18 names last night, so you have 12 participants left that we don't know. You would assume Alexa, since she's coming back this week, would be in there. Who knows with Asuka and Bailey injury-wise where they're at. Bailey sent out some pictures this week of her still getting work done on her knee. So time-wise, I don't know where she's at in her rehab. I don't think she'll be back for the Rumble, more WrestleMania, if she were to do a surprise thing there. Asuka, she had the elbow surgery in that, so I don't know where she's at timeline wise either.
Did you count Charlotte?
Charlotte, so Charlotte would have been, Charlotte was included in that 18.
Oh, 18, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, a couple NXT women. You might see Raquel. You probably see Io.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody else from NXT is ready. Maybe Indy.
Dakota, Casey. Casey's done want to know.
They might just come up just to come up, and
Casey's good for the Kofi elimination spot. So that's a good point there. So yeah, we'll see. A lot of people were upset that they spoiled who they spoiled, but you still have 12 names unknown, so you'll still get some surprises in there. But yeah, it was just interesting to see that, and then WWE even acknowledged Mickie James as Impact Women's Champion in the tweet from the official WWE account was even just wild to see last night. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to be the start of a true working relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it may bump some eyes on Hard to Kill tonight to see if anybody shows up there, because everything I saw last night was just people going bananas, like, oh my God, it's Impact, it's WWE, it's the Forbidden Door, they're working together and everything else. And I was like, well, let's pump the brakes on that because look at the history. Yeah, look at the history with who they announced. I don't think if Deanna's the Impact Women's Champion that they're doing the same thing for her or any other women holding the belt. I think it's specifically because it was Mickie. So, we'll see how that goes there and follow up on that. But yeah, interesting stuff there. Hell of a way to start off 2022. 7 days in and you get an announcement like that breaks the internet. Good pub for WWE that needed some good pub based off of what they did earlier in the week.
True. Another round of cuts.
So, like Jay said, the other round of cuts. This is if you didn't know it before, now you definitely know it. This is the official rest in peace for NXT. Braun Breaker made that evident. It's kicking through the big gold X on Tuesday night coming out, which was not well received backstage. A lot of people took that as a shot, and there's rumor and innuendo that there's a lot of heat backstage for how that played off and came off. And you can't fault him.
He's doing what he's told.
Doing what he's told. That's somebody that we can get into. Talk about a trajectory. Like, man just started training and wrestling in what, August, I think. And he's already NXT champ. Like, hell of a rocket strapped to his back. But so you had that, and then you had just D-Day as far as original NXT goes. Once the announcement was made for Regal, kind of knew, like, okay, it's over. Like, but then some other names came back. Some other names came out. A lot of people backstage that worked out. And I'm not going to run through the list, but you had people that run promo classes, trainers, scouts, all that, coaches. Samoa Joe getting released again for the second time in 9 months.
Producers,
really the only two people that, besides, like, say, Norman Smiley and a couple other coaches, I mean, you have Hunter and you got Sean. That's it. Sean's running the show there right now because Hunter's still out due to his health stuff. So I don't know what's like. I would love to hear or be a fly on the wall for what Hunter is saying and thinking behind closed doors right now.
Oh yeah, I think everybody wants to hear that.
Yeah, we haven't heard from him at all. Yeah, Matt Bloom's still around, which is surprising because he's been there for years. I don't know. I don't know what it means. Tuesday was an okay show, but it's definitely not my cup of tea of wrestling anymore. I tuned in because it was a special. I enjoyed some of the wrestling on there. Some stuff really worked, some stuff did not. But as far as like a week to week, am I going to take time out to watch it? More than likely not. I'll follow up on recaps. If there's something that catches my eye, I'll tune in on the DVR. Or if they have a special, I might tune in depending on, what's being said about it. But other than that, they're strictly going with their plan moving forward. And how you see these characters on NXT is how you'll see them on the main roster. So they're gonna essentially they're doing away with the call up and transition to another character because Vince didn't create you. Now Vince is creating you, and you're just gonna move up and be the same person that you were in NXT 2.0.
I don't mind that. If it's going back to developmental, that's good. At least you have people that can transition to the main roster.
At least finally you'll see that same person and same intro and all that stuff up on the main roster. It won't get people, cutting their necks about it.
Do you think with all that knowledge and history and experience leaving, does that affect the development of these characters and of these talents that a lot of them are going to come in and not even know what wrestling is because they're pulling them from other genres? Does that hurt how they're able to develop these people moving forward?
I think talent-wise, yeah.
Talent-wise in the ring, yeah.
Yeah, in ring.
I know Mark Henry and Dave LaGreca talked about this on Busted Open yesterday, and Mark's big point was, Road Dogg, Regal, Joe, like he ran off the names. He goes, all that knowledge leave. And it's not necessarily that people coming in the door won't be able to become stars, but they won't have the individuals there to guide them on the right path so that when they get to the main roster, they're able to hit the ground running.
I mean, you'll probably still have a wealth of knowledge there.
So, I mean, I don't know who's moving into these roles, but like, maybe you went from a baker's dozen down to about 3. You can't have those 3 everywhere. So like Mark's big point was, hey, you come back through that curtain, you don't have a Joe or a Road Dogg necessarily right there to say, hey, you should have said this line differently, or hey, you should have did this spot here in the match because it would have made more sense. Like they don't have that, and for it to be developmental, that may cause people to take longer
to
develop, but they're not going to be given the same time frame. Because everything we hear is, hey, 6 months in, if you can't main event WrestleMania in their eyes, they're getting you out the door. So,
and with the in-ring stuff too, there's nobody out there to be the general, to help people through, because everybody's still new. So it's like trainees training trainees.
Yeah, you don't have those veterans sprinkled throughout the roster to keep them, like you said, in the ring. Say, hey, slow down, listen to the crowd. You know what I mean? You don't have none of that. From that standpoint, you lost a lot of that. So yeah, we'll see what happens there moving forward. The other thing, this came up, and this is a general topic, but a lot of news, a lot of debate was brought up this week involving diversity in wrestling, based off of the comments and interview that Big Swole gave on AEW and what she said around the company and the hierarchy and representation. Tony Khan made some tweets that didn't come off in the best of light, given the circumstances. I think he was in the right place, but didn't express it properly in 140 characters, and he's catching blowback for the first time since he started AEW, right? Like fans came after him this week.
Also think her tweet, I think her point got misconstrued and taken out of context too.
Yeah, I don't think enough people went in and actually listened to her interview and what she said, and just
because she gave praise top to bottom, and then You know, you
Right.
got to add some criticism.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you there, Jay. I don't think I don't think it was portrayed as her just bashing them whenever that wasn't necessarily the case. And what she said, I mean, what she said was true. Like,
I feel like
she
the
didn't say
diversity.
anything.
I feel like the diversity point, she didn't mean like diverse. I think she meant for people of color, and it just got generalized into all diversity. You know.
So let's dive into that, because we saw Jade win the TBS championship on Wednesday. A lot of people were like, "Oh, this is damage control and everything else." And actually, if you look back in October, Swole kind of gave away the ending to this tournament with a tweet back in October, and rumor came out, that Jade was always going to be the one to win it.
Mm-hmm.
It just, the timing of it just happened to look like, okay, we're gonna put it on her based off of what happened.
Yeah.
But if you look at the tournament itself and who she wrestled and who she went through, I think it was drawn up and established to make her be the champion, even though she's so green in the ring, like so green. You can debate whether or not it's the right call to put it on her, but you can't say that she's not a star. I mean, just looks alone and presence, she's a star. Her in-ring will come, hopefully, as she gets more matches. It's just, you're in that catch-22 place. You have a green person in the ring who has the look of a superstar. Yeah, like what do you do?
Storm.
You know what I mean? What do you do to get her to move forward and become the star that her look portrays? So yeah, maybe you put a belt on her a little too early. Who knows? Like, it is what it is. But I mean, let's not act like people were defending WWE based off of, the recent run with Lashley and Big E and everything else. And it's like, well, wait a second. Let's not act like WWE is the flagship bearer in that stance, because look how long it took to get an African American champion. Like, so for a while there, you never would have thought it was possible. That's why you saw it when Kofi won at Mania. Like, you see the hugs. Like, and the first image after Kofi winning is him celebrating the ring with Woods and E, and then I immediately think of the video of MVP and I believe it was Shad Gaspar. They're in the bar hugging with tears coming down their face because they never thought it would have been possible. And if you look through the history, you can say Rock, Booker T, Mark Henry had a couple runs, but that's it. Like, between that time, you have to go back to what? Ron Simmons in WCW in 93, 94? And before that, there was nobody. Right? Literally nobody. And you think of the amount of African-American stars that could have been champions, from your JYDs, hell, even Rock's dad, Rocky Johnson, that you can go through Tony Atlas, you can run through a list of people, and it never happened. So, like, are we getting progress in the right direction? Yes. If you look at the WWE's roster right now and who their stars are, a lot of them that are on the upper card are people of color. So you're going to have them be in spots where they're going to carry championships. It just took this long of time to get there, which isn't the right thing to say because you've had talent this entire time. You're just now choosing to do it because people are more socially aware of the situation. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what AEW does moving forward. From a diversity point of view, like, their roster top to bottom is very diverse.
Yeah, very.
But you can't say it is it's not a diverse roster when you look at you know, the wrestlers that they have, not just people of color, but you know, Nyla Rose. They just signed Jake Atlas. I mean, you can run down the list. And oh, by the way, Sonny Kiss, like Tony Khan is a minority himself. Like, so, I mean, I don't know. Not saying that it was a lot to do about nothing, because the conversations
there's still a lot of work.
Absolutely.
Because I still don't think African Americans are looked at the same in wrestling as everybody else. I mean, you could say the diversity, but they're not on the level of like, you know, Guerreros are like inbred in wrestling. Japanese inbred in wrestling. So you expect that stuff on the roster and sprinkled in. Like African Americans don't really have too much of that history.
Is that because
you don't look at them on equal playing fields all like that? I don't think people do.
Is that because you don't have like
an established family?
Yeah, you don't have an established family. Even though technically I mean the Rock and Roman and all, they play up the Samoan side of the heritage, right? And like you said, you have your Guerreros, but like most of your established families in wrestling, because of the times when wrestling started, like you had the Von Erichs, you had the Armstrongs, you know what I mean? Like the Harts, like you have like those families. But when you think of it from an African American standpoint, like where's that family to establish them? And you don't have that, rightly or wrongly. Like that's not there. So I can see that being a factor. It's like everything else. I mean, you know what the past 2 years have been, and it's been a lot of conversations. It's been a lot of, you know, put action behind your words, not just in pro wrestling, but every other industry that surrounds us, from entertainment to corporate America to everything. Like it's been there, and it's a conversation that's been lacking based on the subject matter of it. So yeah, I saw Disco Inferno tweet this out, and you can say what you want about Disco, but he tweeted out, your AEW and your mission statement was a social justice mission statement with the whole based off of diversity. He goes, that's going to cause problems for your company if you don't follow through on that mission statement, which is where the whole swole conversation comes in, and what she said. The company's not even 3 years old.
See, I think he might be stuck in. I think that might be more pegged towards black and white, because they're following through on a diversity aspect. You have your Lucha Brothers, you have Rio, yeah,
Shida,
yeah. It's like they're following through, but I think it's being more played out as black and white.
Which people always like. Eventually, that's what people make it. But yeah, sometimes you miss the boat, and it's not supposed to be the conversation of just black and white. I don't. Not that it's something to ignore, but I want to see like how do you handle that moving forward? If you're AEW, how do you handle it moving forward? And you know, Mark Henry talked about this a lot yesterday on Busted Open. So if you have a chance, go back and listen to their show on the podcast for them, because he does talk about it a lot and goes into it. But you have somebody like Mark Henry who's backstage in a role. You know what I mean? Like you said, we have Tony Khan in the you know, he's the top guy, and he's, you know, minority. But like how does all that transfer into making it a level playing field for everybody? If you can even make it a level playing field for everybody, like, Because if you just automatically push like Scorpio Sky and Sunny Kiss, Jade already has a belt, then everybody's gonna look at you and go, "Oh, you're only doing this because of what was said."
That's
like how do we move away from you're only doing this because this is what was said? I think is the next step in the progression.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you do that or how they'll do that.
I think you just work with what you got. Like, start featuring Hobbs a bit more, featuring Private Party a bit more. Get Scorpio off the dark.
Bigger roles. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was
it's
like one of my.
Just shoot them straight to the top, but just have them in more important roles than just standing in the background grimacing or.
That was like one of my
being a run-in guy.
That was like one of my predictions. I was going to say was like show Sean Dean more, and he was on TV. Wasn't he was a spot in a feud going on, but at least they showed him on TV and not down in Dark Elevation and all that stuff. I mean, they made a big thing about him last year, be like Sean D, Captain Sean D, and his All Elite, and you never seen him. I mean, so
do you think because AEW is doing everything at such a fast pace and they're growing so much, and they don't have the luxury of having like the developmental NXT on their side of things, and they're using Dark and Elevation as that platform? Like, do you think we're expecting too much too soon to have certain people like Sean D or Lee Moriarty like? To have those guys immediately on Dynamite whenever maybe they're trying to get them to work how they want.
Not those guys. I mean, you're still talking about new guys. I'm like the people who are already established on your roster. Those guys can still work on Dark and be, work their way up. But like, say your Private Parties, you're acclaimed and you're
Dante Wright,
Top Flight. Well,
Dante Martin.
The brother's out.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's going to be coming back soon at some point. You got Leo Rush now on your roster.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can have.
I think they're also getting lost in like the shiny new toy thing. Somebody comes in and that you're automatically losing the focus on the shiny new toy.
Oh yeah, that's always.
Or a lot of people still getting lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. That's always been their thing.
Yeah.
Is WWE now? Granted, they have the longer head start because they've been around for 40 plus years. But you look at recently, like yes, you had Sasha and Bianca, and that was a moment and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had Lashley's title reign. You can say what it was about it. Big E's title reign. I don't think he got the reign that he deserved.
Mm-hmm.
No,
we talked about that. We talked about that before we took our break. And then you have Lesnar take it off him after he took it off Kofi. Like, and pin
him. Pinned him. That shouldn't have happened. No,
right. But they made their audible there. But like, it'll be interesting to see how they do it moving forward, right? Because where are those people gonna be at on the card? And given the roster splits, you're gonna have them on Raw and SmackDown almost every single week because the numbers just strictly call for it. But what roles are they gonna be in? Are they gonna be near the top of the card? We're getting potentially Lashley and Lesnar at Rumble. After that, where does it go?
I think now that Lashley's there, he's stuck in that. He's stuck in that top. I don't ever see him coming back down. So,
which should be the case. I mean,
because
you always have your New Day there, and I think Big E will jockey in between.
Bianca. I mean, you look at Bianca. Like since SummerSlam, you can't say that she's been shown in the best of light booking wise.
Quiet.
She's still in the picture.
Yeah, she's still in the picture.
I mean, she's in the triple threat match for the the challenge at Rumble for the belt. But She had the whole SummerSlam thing. She loses to Becky in back-to-back pay-per-views, and then she goes into a feud with Doudrop. Like, you know, I don't know. It's.
But I think just because of her talent, she's automatically stuck in that. She's already up in that level.
You would think. I mean, she's not, arguably the best athlete on your roster.
Yeah.
She arguably has the most it factor out of any woman on your roster. Yeah, like you would want her to be spotlighted as a top star on your roster. So I don't know. We'll be interesting to see here how all that plays out moving forward. But yeah, I hope my hopes for it is that we get to the point where, like we said, you're no longer having the conversation of, when are you going to do this? Why aren't they there? And it's just like that part of the conversation drops off, and you're just talking about them like you would any other.
Like, hey, congratulations, you're a champ.
Yeah, but to where like that thought's not even on your mind because like Jay, like you said, they're ingrained in with everybody else to where you're just talking strictly on, hey, look at this feud, look at this match, and like you're moving on to next storylines. You're not there. That caveat that's hanging over is gone. It's not there no more. So, but yeah, we'll see how all that plays out. It's interesting. I think there was miscommunication on a lot of things, and then people took it for how they wanted to take it instead of furthering the conversation more, which also doesn't do well as far as making it progress, right?
Yeah. But if you read the comments section, shit's not going to change. It'll change on the product. It won't change in the comment section.
Right.
It just get weaponized and take your sides. That's all what it does.
Right. And that's a problem too, right? Doesn't matter the subject wise. People are going to take it for how they want to take it and put it out there to fit their narrative instead of having the difficult conversation to understand and what can be done to move it forward and stuff. and this doesn't necessarily pertain to the a black white thing or diversity thing. Like it could be anything that revolves around having a difficult conversation, but you got to take the steps to have it in order to understand both sides to figure out what the best solution is moving forward, which we can benefit more of, no matter what it is, pro wrestling or not. All right. Good talk there. Good conversation there. I like it. All right. What do we got here? Hard to Kill tonight. If you guys have not watched Impact Wrestling, tune in to this card. Impact always over delivers on their pay-per-views. The card is stacked. I don't know if the producer back there has the card pulled up. If not, I can get the matches pulled up and we can just run through some.
Yeah, the producer said he does have the card.
Yeah, we got that man some work.
He ain't talking. He got to earn his paycheck somehow.
Hey, producer, throw me up a picture of me in every other square.
That's the gorilla in the back.
I'm mad going through to a picture.
So we have the ROH World Champion Jonathan Gresham versus Chris Sabian. This potentially could be match of the night. I may pick this for my match of the night. Gresham, to me, a spoiler alert for my predictions, he's going to be my 2022 breakout star. Okay. So if you have not seen him before because you've never watched ROH, tune in. That's going to be a technical masterpiece that they put on tonight between them two. So I got Gresham keeping the belt, and I see him going on a tour throughout different companies defending that ROH title to keep the name out there between now and April, whenever ROH comes back, however they come back. But yeah, I'm that match. I'm super looking forward to that match tonight. Pimp D, what you got? Well, he's still running through matches, and we didn't even get the other two predictions. Donald,
Gresham. I don't think Gresham's going to lose that title. And it's like you said, Steve, until ROH comes back.
Yeah,
he's going to be the flag bearer of the company while it's gone.
Gresham.
All right, go ahead, producer Joe. Josh Alexander versus Jonah. Josh Alexander was my breakout star of 2021. He finished top 10 on Sports Illustrated's Wrestler of the Year for the men. Jonah has been portrayed as an absolute killer since he's been in Impact. Laid Alexander out Thursday night with a big splash off the top rope through a table. So this is your quintessential blow off to a nice feud for Jonah coming in. I actually got Jonah winning this on a surprise. I got Jonah winning this one.
I see Jonah winning also. I think Alexander still got to fall a little bit before he makes his climb back up to the title.
Exactly. Nah, ding, ding, ding.
No, you don't need to fall, man. I'm going Alexander. Why you got to fall to crawl back up? There.
That's wrestling.
That's wrestling, baby. That's wrestling, baby.
No, he was slighted, so you don't need to make that fall. I can see him he was slighted. He was that man's
right. He was extremely slighted, but hey, you got to shovel some more dirt on before he can get out. You know,
it just makes the climb better. It makes the chase better. It does.
Yep. All right, go ahead. Hardcore War. Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Heath, and Rhino versus the Good Brothers and Violent by Design. These men have been battling back and forth for a while now. I don't want to say this is your match to throw everybody, make sure everybody gets a payday, but I actually think this is going to be better than what most multi-man matches are. Impact seems to do a really good job of pulling off multi-man matches like this. I don't think it'll be the complete car crash that you see on AEW when they have 10-man tags. I think it'll be put together a little bit more. I'm going to go with the baby faces going over the heels here.
Who's the baby? Oh,
Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Heath, and Rhino.
Yeah, I'm going with the faces also, just because on the other side I got the Good Brothers.
Oh, man. The way he has it broken. Hold on. What is this again? This is a
Hardcore War match.
So it's Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Heath, and Rhino.
The way it's broken down, I'm looking at it as a triple threat.
Oh, like a quadruple tag team match. Yeah, no. No, you got 5v5.
I'm looking up. I damn near put on a Heath shirt and I'm looking over the man today. I'm gonna go with Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, Matt,
the faces,
Heath, and Rhino. Yeah.
All right,
I read that all wrong.
This I'm so pumped for this match. I've been looking forward to this match since they announced it. The women's are getting their first ever Ultimate X match. We know what the Ultimate X match has done for the men's side of things. I can't wait to see how the women pull this off. I believe they got a really good crop of women in here to make the match exciting and to pull it off. So yeah, this is the match I'm most looking forward to watching on the show, just to see how they play out and how it gets done. For me, this is a toss-up for me because I was either going to go Chelsea Green or Tasha Steelz, and I still haven't made a final decision yet. I'm going to go with Tasha.
I'm going to go with Lady Frost.
Who, Jason?
Lady Frost.
I'm going to go Chelsea Green. She got the ring last week. She's going to get the X.
Lady Frost, if you have not watched her, if you're not familiar with her, go catch up on some of her work on YouTube before you tune in tonight. She's really good. I enjoy her in-ring work and like to see. She has a freaking phenomenal entrance. I don't know if you saw the tweet that Impact put out of her entrance on Thursday night, but it's badass. It's like the Glacier entrance, but done right. Yeah, it has like that badass Sub-Zero vibe, but it's done right, not in a corny Glacier way. Next, X Division Championship, Trey Miguel, Steve Macklin. These guys have been battling in triple threats for the X Division Championship, and now they have their one-on-one singles match. This match will deliver like the triple threats have with Ace Austin and that. I don't see Trey Miguel losing. I see him retaining and keeping up his streak moving forward into this year. So give me Trey Miguel to retain.
Trey Miguel.
Impact World Championship match. We have a triple threat. We have Moose, who's the champion, versus Matt Cardona versus William Morrissey, aka Big Kaz. Moose will find a slimy, sleazy way to retain and continue his championship reign. And I think the feud that will change that is whenever Sami Callihan comes back off of injury. That'll be the blood feud for the Impact Championship based off of the fact that Moose was the one that injured Callihan. I'm gonna go with that. So give me Moose to retain in some type of shenanigan, sleazy way that he normally does.
Moose is gonna keep the belt.
I'm going. Can't teach that.
That would be. I mean, that would not be a bad call. Morrissey in Impact has been portrayed tremendously. He's a big guy working big style and has not missed. He had a good feud with Eddie Edwards, so he has been done right in Impact. Love his look. His mind's all squared away now. He got through his issues. Kudos to him for battling those demons and coming back stronger than ever. So, yeah. I actually think this is going to be a really good match. Given the fact that it's three bigger guys, I think you'll see a lot of power moves in that. But I think that this won't disappoint from a viewing standpoint. And then lastly, the Texas Death Match for the Knockout Impact Championship. As we said earlier, spoiler alert, they may have given away the finish to this match. I was initially going to pick Deonna Purrazzo, but after last night, I have no idea now. Like I said, I don't think you would portray Mickie James as the Impact Championship on WWE programming and have her show up to the Rumble not having that title. I think it would do more for Impact if she shows up to the Rumble with the title. Whatever rub Impact is looking to get from WWE that they might not have gotten from AEW, I think it would do them more to have her show up at the Rumble with that belt around her waist. So with that being said, give me Mickie James to retain, even though I want Deonna to have the belt back.
Mickie for the win. Just what Steve said, all of his points.
You think they're actually going to put a belt on WWE TV?
Yes.
Honestly, Jay, I never would have thought that they would have referenced Impact Wrestling on WWE TV. So who the hell?
The rub was last night. That was their rub. I'm going
Nah. WWE want that money.
So you got Deonna, Jay?
Yeah, I'm going Deonna.
All right. Like I said, I initially wanted her, but that last night changed my view. So it is what it is there.
And then Deonna will be a surprise person into the Rumble. That title's getting them on the Rumble somehow.
People were throwing out dream matches last night
already.
Oh yeah. I saw a lot of Jordan Grace versus X for dream matches. The one that I really want to see, but who knows if we're actually getting a working relationship. But they had Chad Gable versus Josh Alexander.
That'd be good technical ground. Yeah, that was really
that. That would be like Gable. I mean, not a waste, but
he's gonna be a tag team champion real soon.
So much more. So, all right. Predictions 2022 wise. How do you guys want to handle this? You want to just do your own predictions? What you see for certain promotions? Maybe. I mean, hell, we've had 3 potential match of the year candidates just this week. You had both main events with Okada in it, and then you had Hangman and Danielson on Wednesday night, and it's only first week of January. Like, so I don't think we got to go match of the year type stuff, but just some general predictions for what you see in either your favorite promotion or a couple promotions, whatever you want to throw out there.
As I said, one, I would like to see Sean Dean more on Rampage and all that stuff. Just cause. And I like to see a really good, fresh feud. Don't matter which promotion it is. I just want to see something that's gonna last more than 3 months, probably 3 to 6 months. Nothing hot shotted, just a steady, consistent story between two fresh people.
No particular fantasy booking wise. You just want that period.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is, just as long as they give that specific scenario to you.
Just no legends, because I'm tired of seeing them do their thing. Just somebody fresh, out of nowhere, two people who has great chemistry with each other, have a great feud. I miss that.
My prediction is more street fights.
Every week you get one.
And Baszler's time is coming.
Oh, okay.
There's a
prediction. So you got Shayna Baszler winning the women's championship this year.
Yeah, no, I don't have her in the Rumble, but she gets her title this year.
Okay, that's not bad. Like I said, I got Jonathan Gresham as my breakout star in 2022. I think he'll be a name that will be on everybody's tongue and lips by the end of the year. Everybody will know who he is. I'm going to go Santana and Ortiz to win the AEW Tag Team Championships. Not as part of the Inner Circle, but as part of the old LAX with Eddie Kingston. I think we were going in that direction, but hey, Phoenix got hurt, so who knows if they pulled an audible Wednesday night or if Jurassic Express was actually supposed to win that match. We'll never know, but give me Santana and Ortiz. See here, what else? More roll-ups.
Yeah, I saw Dawn laughing, so I took those in comments.
Please, we don't need more roll-ups this year. Okay, let's do less of that. Yeah, I'll go that way. I'll go Tasha Steelz to be Impact Knockouts champion this year. And I think she's due to get a prime push. She's somebody that can definitely be elevated into a main event spot. I like her look, way she talks, ring work. So give me Tasha Steelz to be a game player, and then I'm gonna go with GCW to be promotion of the year by the end of the year this year. I think that the steam that they had last year, you can argue that they were the hottest promotion out of any promotion in 2021. They gained the most sets of eyes. Hell, they sold out the Hammerstein Ballroom with only having one match announced. You don't sell out that room 2 months in advance, 3 months in advance of your show with only having one match announced. So I'm going to go with GCW being promotion of the year. And then my feud of the year, hopefully, this is one of my dream matchups, but give me the Briscoes versus FTR to have a long tag team feud this year. And that's what I got.
I got one more.
Speaking.
I got one more. If Roman continues his warpath and still champ, hopefully if COVID settles down, Ultimate Fantasy book, and he was like, I'm calling somebody out. I want somebody. Rainmaker's music hits.
Nah, good one.
And we get Okada versus Reigns.
Do you think
he just pre-ordered 2K22? He's in creative mode right now.
Yeah, that game's not going to come out until 2026 when the roster actually settles down. We don't have to deep dive into this, but just general thing. If WWE is walking through the forbidden door, right? Who do you think will play the chessboard better, WWE or AEW?
WWE. I think they'll have more people on brand.
Because you got to figure Okada. To me, Okada's going to make his way to AEW at some point this year.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's to reignite the feud with Kenny, or what. But to me, I see him in AEW at some point this year. The New Japan relationship is still there with AEW. I'll just be interested to see who plays the chessboard better. Is it Vince in WWE, or does Tony Khan still have tricks up his sleeve to move around the board with AEW, considering, what they've done so far to this point with the Forbidden Door and how they move it forward. That'll be interesting. That's an interesting storyline to play out throughout the year. That's a good one. I like that one, Chris. Yeah. I know Nakamura was wanting and pitching to go back to Wrestle Kingdom because it was the 50th anniversary or something with 50. I can't remember exactly what, but he was trying to pitch them for him to be able to do something there. But obviously, I guess with COVID and everything else, and Vince being Vince, that didn't work out. Yeah, so he was trying to get back this year, upcoming in 2022.
Yes, he said.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's already starting that pitch a year in advance to get to do something with them for their 50th. So yeah, we'll see. All right. Before we wrap up Bell to Bell this week, 50th anniversary shows in a few weeks. Okay. So yeah, I know.
Take them as a development.
Yeah, use the name and all that stuff as development.
I could see that scenario playing out more for ROH. Kerry Silkin was at AEW recently. There were pictures of him with people. He had did an interview with Jericho on Jericho's podcast. You can go give that a listen and check that out. I could see that maybe working out, Chris, because ROH is going to be
okay.
But ROH doesn't need money like ECW did back in the day. They have the money from Sinclair, so it's not a money issue. It's just how Sinclair
how to use it,
use the product. So, I mean, ROH would make more sense than MLW. To me, MLW is doing their own thing. MLW has carved out their own niche.
Mm-hmm.
They're working with Mexico, with Crash and other promotions down there. They have MLW Azteca, which debuted Thursday night. Go watch that. It was a good show. So yeah, MLW to me is off to the side. Court Bauer has his plan, has his thing. I don't think he'll be involved in any type of thing like that, besides having talent come in like he normally does. ROH is the interesting one there, Chris, that you brought up, because we don't know what they're going to be like. So who knows what happens between now and April, what talks are going on, what discussions are being had, how the presentation is going to be rolled out. I think more wrestlers in ROH would be better suited for AEW than WWE, but that's something that can be changed stylistic wise, is why I think ROH would be better suited with AEW.
Yeah.
All right. Before we wrap up here about this week, I said I was gonna throw a little surprise out there to you guys. So moving forward this year, we will be defending the Dumb Marks Podcast World Heavyweight Championship belt. As you can see, nice little side plates here. Got the established date, the little segments on the show.
You see all the space right here?
So yeah, so
where's gonna hang?
The champ is officially here. We'll be putting out challenges between the four of us throughout the year and different things, various things. If there's something that you want to see the four of us do, by all means, throw the suggestions over. But game on, bitches.
Other than get physical, because your boy's too old to tussle.
Yeah, no. We're not.
None of that.
In the back of Chris's yard.
We're going to have a unification match for that.
you got the main WWE logo in there. We had to get that belt out of here. We had to get a true Dumb Marks Championship belt to represent and carry around the show. You know, whether it's a hot take debate, whether it's a chip challenge, whether it's playing horse, I don't know, whatever the hell the challenge is, we'll be doing it between the four of us for the bragging rights to carry around, you know, Big Silver over here. So get those suggestions in, hit us up on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Let us know what you would like to see the four of us do. And we're going to get that started here. Hopefully the weather is not too bad in the wintertime here in PA to where we could get together and do some stuff. But that's one of my surprises and goals for the show this year is to whoop some ass like I'm bound to do, like I do every week, and one got to go. Now I'm just going to do it with a belt on the line.
I already got my side plates dreamed up in the head.
There you go. You can keep them dreaming because it ain't going to become a reality. So there it is. It's official. The Dumb Marks Championship belt will be challenged from all comers right there.
I know as soon as I get that belt, I'm going to put some color into it because it looks like the TNT title.
So funny thing was whenever I was designing the belt, you could pick a bunch of different leathers for it, right? I could have picked alligator, I could have picked python, like all this shit, and they had a bunch of colors, and I'm like, but the plate itself was always going to be silver, like you couldn't change the plate. So I'm like, do I go blue? Do I go white? Do we do something, Ultimate Warrior-esque and throw a yellow leather strap on there? Like, what do we do? I went with the classic design. Okay. If you somehow defeat me for the championship, since I'm the Jeff Jarrett, I'm the creator, I'm the inventor of the Dumb Marks Heavyweight Championship belt. Okay. If you for somehow beat me and you want to change the strap, by all means, you can go ahead and change the strap.
Again, who's the inventor?
Still
a championship, man.
That's a Fugazi championship. That's not a real belt.
Second generation, right there. That's all that is.
That's not a real belt. You have a TNA title over there. I got the Real Impact Wrestling Championship belt right now. Okay. So there it is. That's my surprise for the show for 2022, based off of some suggestions that were made on what we can do, different things for the show. So I came up with that.
Somebody said get a belt.
They didn't specifically say the belt, but there was some some more interaction and challenges between the four of us. So I figured, hey, we got to put stakes on the line. Why not get a belt? So there it is. And if you win a championship, we'll be sending one out to your organization so you can tout it around like WWE does. All right, that's all I have for this week, Bell to Bell. You guys got anything else before we wrap this up?
Yeah, we'll be on a show this Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Go ahead, Chris. You want to plug that?
The producer
Joe failing us.
the producer.
It's Zord on.
Zord on.
This guy. There he is.
We're going to be on the Pro Wrestling Podcast this upcoming Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So
tune into your Dumb Marks. The best 4-man booth in the business is taking this show on the road, and we're invading other podcasts. So tune into that to hear us chop it up. Be excited to get on there and do some interesting things, have some good conversation, and get off to a positive way in 2022. All right, I'm thirsty. Time to drink a beer.
Same here.
Chug, 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 chug.
All right, so this week's drink of the week is brought to you by the end of the holiday season. And I say that because this week we have Great Lakes Brewing Company Christmas Ale. I bought a case of this for the holidays, and I had some leftovers, so I figured why not get the boys to drink this with me. I've had it before. It is probably my number one favorite Christmas ale. So I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. Take a drink-see here. I don't know if any of you guys have had this one previously, but it's an ale. It's an ale with spices and honey. Brewed by Great Lakes Brewing Company, Cleveland, Ohio. That's probably the best thing to come out of Cleveland is this brewery. Other than that, Cleveland stinks. 7.5% alcohol by volume. So
you said 7?
7.5. And I'm drinking this on an empty stomach today. I haven't eaten yet. So
it smells good.
The rest of the show is going to be interesting. So good.
Okay.
So good. Like I said, this is my favorite Christmas ale that's out. So, given that fact, I'm gonna rate it high regardless. So, give me 4.75 on the Sumo scale. I bury these this Christmas ale and whole hog as far as seasonals go. Like that, those are my number ones. Those are the top of the list for me.
Like the smell of it a lot. The taste is great on it. First time having it. Yeah, I'd give this like a 4.2. This is good stuff.
Here we go. Jay, what you got? Have another?
I'd have another. We're sitting like around the fire pit, and you threw me another one. I'm like, you know what? I'll crack it open.
Fireplace, because the fire pit, it ain't summertime or in the spring.
That's why it's cold. Fire pit when it's cold outside.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, and it would have been 7.5 with as smooth as it is, they'll get you in trouble.
Trouble.
Yeah. Zordon, what you got? He might not be drinking because he's not feeling well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's heading up.
All right. Well, whenever you get your your mojo.
You said
back,
no drinking or no, not another.
No,
he just said no, not drinking.
Give a little separate review yourself there, Chris. Whenever you pull this one out of the fridge and crack it open for yourself there. So there it is. Positive reviews across
this
the
bottle's
board.
almost halfway gone.
Hey, you got another one. I gave each against 2, so you know what I mean. You can go crack that second one open. By the time this show's over, Dom's gonna have all them buttons on that dresser undone. He's gonna have them all done.
We can run this back as my drink of the week when it comes around.
Hey, I got 6 more left, so I can drop it off. And you guys, you can have 4 total. So there it is. I don't know if it's still out. You may be able to pick it up because it's end of the season. If not, you're going to have to wait till next year. But I highly recommend you guys scoop up the Christmas sale from Great Lakes next year. You won't be disappointed.
Pumpkin beer when we went. So
that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
So scoop that up. And with that, to good ships, wood ships, and ships that sail the seas. But the best ships are friendships, and friends will always be. Salute. All right, this week in sports, we're not going to spend a lot of time here this week. Just a couple things to run through. Penguins are on a 10-game winning streak. They're the hottest team in the NHL right now.
Tearing it up.
I never would have expected this from this team, the way they started off this year. I know they started off with injuries and they got hit by COVID early, but the fact that they've won 10 straight and the teams that they've beaten over the course of these 10 games, they're not just beating up on the bottom half of the league. They're beating some top-tier teams. Big comeback win the other night against St. Louis. I just hope this isn't a case where they've peaked too early.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this isn't we're going to go on this run, win 12 or 14 in a row, and then, we'll decline the rest of the year. So hopefully they keep going in this direction. If so, it's going to be an exciting. Crosby's also on chase for 500 goals. Nice. Do you know where he sits at right now, Chris? Not sure what his total is.
Oh, damn.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So we're right on the cusp of that. There we go. Big milestone there for Sid the Kid. Arguably one of the best hockey players of all time. You throw him up there potentially in the Mount Rushmore of hockey players. So they're on fire right now in Fuego, and hopefully they can keep the ball rolling. I know we're coming up on the Olympic break here in a couple weeks. So reset, recharge, and then get ready to come down the home stretch and into the playoffs.
I think they're gonna play through the Olympic break since they're not gonna NHL stars ain't going over.
So they're not taking any time off now.
No, I think they're gonna play through.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's time off, man.
A minute time off is was it a hockey all-star game? That break they always do there.
Yeah, some of the missed games. I know the stuff that's going on with the teams in Canada right now. Don't know how that's going to break out and affect the rest of the season with them not having fans in the stands and everything else. Like we'll see how the NHL navigates COVID as spikes continue to go up.
I think was it Ottawa? They were supposed to play Seattle, and they said if you go play Seattle, you're not allowed back in the country. So they postponed the game.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how that goes there. The other thing, Monday night national championship, Alabama versus Georgia. Georgia's a 3-point favorite right now. I don't know why.
I don't know how.
I don't know why. After Alabama destroyed them in the SEC championship game, you're giving Nick Saban points. Like to me, it just seems like the lock bet of the century. So if you have your whole paycheck to bet, I'd probably put it on Alabama.
You're just giving them more fire too. What the Nick Saban call it, rat poison that tasted good.
I don't know why you're giving Bama points. Like, or it makes no sense. Yeah. So the bookies may know something that we don't. But yeah, in this instance, I think giving Bama 3 points is kind of crazy. So who you got real quick? Georgia, Alabama. Who you got?
I have Alabama. I can't pick against Nick Saban.
I can. I'm going Georgia. I hate Nick Saban. I don't hate Nick Saban, but there needs to be a change at the top.
Saban's going for his 8th national championship, more than any other coach in college football history. I mean, if he wins 8, he's been there, 12 years? 2009?
Mm-hmm.
20. So in 12 years, you win 8 natties? Like, that's insane, dude. Yeah. Like, I mean, you got to start thinking of him as arguably one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah.
You got Belichick, you have Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson, some of the other coaches from other sports, but Saban's name got to be included in that list whenever you debate who's the greatest coach of all time.
Mm-hmm. And especially with the transfer portal too, like kids just could go, but they actually stay and wait their turn.
Right. You saw that with Robinson, their running back this year. I mean, he sat behind,
Najee.
He sat behind Najee.
If you're gonna get a chip, I'm gonna stay too.
Yeah, Najee, Jacobs, he sat behind all of them.
Right. So yeah, I mean, crazy what they've done there and what he's built. I just don't see how you go against Alabama. He has Georgia's number. He has Kirby Smart's number. We saw that a couple years ago. Georgia was up in a national title game, 24-something, and then they put in Tua, and they went in overtime on a bomb to Devontae Smith. Like he just has Georgia's number. So I'm going Bama. There, and then lastly for sports, we have. Well, I say we have, but who knows? We have Ben Roethlisberger's last game as a Pittsburgh Steeler tomorrow against the Baltimore Ravens down there in Baltimore. Saw Big Ben send off at Heinz Field on Monday night when they beat the Browns. The Browns, of course, are the Browns, which are just terrible. Maybe Baker Mayfield's last game is a Brown tomorrow, even though they picked up his 5th-year option. So, with that being said, Big Ben, first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
It's kind of hard to argue against that.
Because there's people in the Hall of Fame right now that don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Is he the best quarterback in his draft class?
Yes.
Yes.
The big 3 was him, Eli, and Rivers. You take Ben over Eli and Rivers? I do too.
More consistent.
Yeah. 18 years in one spot, most out of any quarterback, although I think Rodgers may eclipse him in Green Bay. Who knows? We'll see how that plays out. But, yeah, Big Ben, hell of a ride. I think he gave everything that he could. Doesn't have anything left in the tank. We see that obviously by Monday night stats where he threw 46 times and had 123 yards.
Receivers didn't help either.
Yeah. They do still have a slim chance to get in to the playoffs. They need to beat Baltimore and have Jacksonville upset the Colts.
Throwing on my Trevor Lawrence jersey.
And
Good luck for that.
And the Raiders and Chargers can't tie.
Yeah, the Raiders and Chargers already came out and said they're not playing for a tie. They're gonna play to win. So
yeah, because the NFL is looking at them now.
right. But yeah, so week 18's finishing up here. Next weekend we'll have wild card weekend. We'll have 2 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday, 1 game Monday night for the wild card matchups. I liked it last year when it was 3-3.
3-3, yes. Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, because whoever the teams is that play Monday, that's a disadvantage to them because they don't have an extra day to prepare.
Yep.
It was like, why touch it? Just do 3-3.
So next Saturday, we'll run through our playoff predictions for the NFL and pick our Super Bowls based off of the playoff teams and see if any of us were right from the beginning of the year whenever we
gave
our initial.
Get our initials ready.
Mine's still alive. It's good.
Yeah, Zordon, pull up those picks from earlier in the year this week.
Mine's still alive.
All right. Anything else in sports that you guys had or saw? You want to throw out there?
Yeah, much like my Claypool take, I'm not.
Don't defend who I think you're going to defend. Don't do that. But TJ Watt needs 2 more sacks to break the record.
Sack and a half.
Sack and a half in all season.
He has 21 and a half, so he only needs a sack and a half.
That man.
Okay.
Hey, he's only played in 14 games.
Yeah,
so he'll actually break the record in less games than Strahan did.
Yeah.
So I know people were like, "Oh, it's 17-game season. You got to put asterisks." Well, look, TJ's only played in 14.
Yeah,
like he'll break the record in 15 games. So you know what I mean? Yeah. But no, Jay, go back there. Were you going to defend the first 2 letters of the alphabet?
BA?
No. Put them around.
I'll defend him. I'll defend BA.
There's no way. Please, if you're gonna get on that soapbox, please.
No. It was just every time I turn on the TV, I'm like, man, I'm tired of hearing this man's name.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, he's a great publicist. He got a new music album dropping, so I mean, it's a new song coming out. It's a way to draw eyes. But other than that, like he's done in the NFL.
Yeah, I feel you.
Period. Point blank.
Yeah, like no way. Hey man, that ankle look good jumping, doing the jumping jacks and everything in the end zone. So,
hey, look, explosive running and skipping, 2 different things. Man.
Oh, here we go.
I'm gonna defend him right here.
Okay,
it's right there.
I mean, the fact that Mike Tomlin dealt with AB for 9 years needs to be more praise heaped on his name. Okay. Yeah, it's out of control. Madness.
Oh gosh.
I'm not even going to get in there. Not necessary. So, all right. I believe that's it for this week in sports. If you guys got nothing else, all right, let's go into it. Roll renowned, roll famous.
My man is quick on the draw.
Even when he's producing in the background, he still hits the damn button too quick. Won't hold it against you, Zordon. I'm not even calling you Chris no more. It's just Zordon.
Command center.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's gonna be the new shirt. It's gonna be Chris's face in the Zordon glass.
That's not bad. That's not a bad idea.
All right. One got to go this week. I was thinking of what to do and fall jokes. So one got to go this week. Honestly, this is strictly based off of the fact that we had, first snow here in the PA area. Had to get out and spent 45 minutes shoveling the driveway yesterday morning and cleaning off cars, which is never fun. But so this week's one got to go is in regards to winter activities. So we got sled riding, ice skating, snow tubing, and skiing / snowboarding.
I'm black. I ain't done half this shit.
Oh, man. So go ahead, Pimp D, go ahead. We'll work bottom top. Chris can chime in on his votes after Jason. He can throw his up on the screen.
Sled riding is one of the ones to stay. If you did sled ride as a kid, if you lived up in the Northeast or anywhere with snow, you had no childhood. I did snowboarding one time, even though it was on a small hill. It was fun because I know how to skateboard. Never did snow tubing. I just never had a tube that big to perform that. I always had a board, and I love ice skating. I mean, I have friends that played hockey and always went to the ice rinks and ice skating. So snow tubing got to go.
This man ain't never did pirouette. No, who are you right now?
Donald's on the Winter Classic team right now, Jay. He's on the All-Star Winter Classic team.
Was this in college? Did I miss a few years of your life? Michelle Kwan over here? Greg Hamilton? What are you?
Yeah, I've been ice skating a few times. I've been ice skating a lot.
Hold on. This guy throwing out the I'm black. I haven't done half of these things. Just name drop Michelle Kwan and Greg Hamilton. How many black guys can name drop Michelle Kwan and Greg Hamilton?
I watch. I don't participate.
Hey, ice skating is fun. It is very, very fun.
All right, which one got to go, Donald?
Snow tubing.
Huh?
Right.
Snow tubing, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jay?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about the fall.
So what fall's going to hurt more? Is that how you're basing?
I'm thinking ice skating's going to hurt the most. Been sled riding. Been not official snow tubing. Never been skiing or skateboarding. I'm ice skating. Got to go.
Snowboarding, not skateboarding.
Snowboarding, skateboarding.
All right, yeah. Chris, what you got?
Your skating got to go.
Never have, never will. Yeah, for the bigger of us that are heavily challenged in some areas, skiing and snowboarding, that's a lot of mass coming down a hill at super high speeds. So yeah, you get a little top heavy that turns into you rolling down the hill into a big snowball. So yeah, for me, I've never done skiing or snowboarding. Never done snow tubing officially, like at Seven Springs or anything like that. I've done ice skating, love ice skating. Nothing like ice skating outside in the wintertime. Stanley Park back in the day as a kid was the shit.
Yes, it was.
Sled riding, classic sled riding. Whether it's a square board, circle, doesn't matter. Any type of sled riding for me is fun. So for me, I'm gonna go with skiing, snowboarding. I just don't think I'd have the coordination to do skiing and snowboarding. Snow tubing, I could lay down on a tube and go down a hill. That's not, that's not difficult. Ice skating, love ice skating, and sled riding is my number one. So yeah, we'll get skiing and snowboarding off the list here. Plus, skiing's too damn expensive. Yeah, way too expensive. It's
if you separated that, it'd be skiing. But you looped with snowboarding, so
yeah, I looped it in just because it was the same. I was gonna throw up there, stay in the lodge and drink, but I knew everybody would keep that, so I decided to take that off the list.
Yeah, never been skiing. Yeah, I never been skiing, but snowboarding I have done.
Give me your struggle sled.
The struggle sled.
Your struggle sled.
As far what do you mean by struggle sled? Because I can go a couple different variations.
Just the weirdest thing you went sledding on.
Garbage bag.
Garbage bag.
Garbage bag for me.
Garbage bag.
Garbage bag.
We used to go. I guess you could call it sled riding, but we used to do it in the summertime on cardboard over at the Triple Hill over by Dixon. That was the summertime sled riding on the cardboard boxes. That was fun. Garbage bag may be the top of the list there.
We got about.
No, I used to hate the old school wooden, almost toboggan looking sled.
Oh,
It
yeah,
had the string, the string that you had to, you know what I mean? Nah, don't.
Nah.
I prefer either the round one or the long plastic ones that you can go on that were like Clark Griswold and National Lampoon.
You know the bag your mattress comes in.
Don't tell me you use that.
We got about 3 or 4 bodies in there. And my hill, my where I live is just nothing but series of hills on hills. It's like San Francisco,
right?
Hills. You got to stand on a hill like car coming. Go.
That's how it was. That's how it was here. Over at the elementary school where I used to live, they used to have a triple hill, right? And if you hit the bottom hill right, you would get airborne, and you would go over the sidewalk and land in the street. Well, the cars coming up and down the hill, you had to time it right, or else you can catch that air.
And the car comes.
You can get smacked with the car. So you had to plan that out right. But
defenseless receiver.
Yeah. I remember my sister hit a tree when we were sled riding back in the day. Over at Frick Park, went down. I
remember that. Yep, Frick Park. Yep.
Went down, smacking into a tree, bloody nose, the whole nine. The night was over.
We just hit other people. Good way to get your legs cut out.
Yeah. The worst part about sled riding is the walk back up the hill.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. My house now, I have you walk out my door, my hill on the side of my house, it's perfect sled riding. Don't gotta get in the car and go nowhere.
Next time
the driveway is dangerous because it leads right out to the road. At least if you come down the hill on the side of the house, you can bail out at the bottom where it levels out, and you don't gotta worry about going in the street. So all right, so that's it for One Gotta Go this week. Hit us up on social media. Let us know what we got right and what we got wrong as far as winter classic activities. All right, final thoughts this week. Anything you guys want to plug, want to get into? Cobra Kai Day was New Year's Eve. I binged it season 4. The show gets better and better with every single season.
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna start tonight.
I know we announced the plugging of us going on show on Tuesday night, and we'll be making an appearance here shortly on another show, breaking down all things that is Cobra Kai. So be on the lookout for that.
That's what we're going on for.
No.
Tremendous show.
We're going on for wrestling.
I would argue that is literally the best show on television, top to bottom, from character development to swerves to storyline, nostalgia.
Do you not watch Monday Night Raw?
Oh, come on now, let's keep it real.
Nothing in that show misses. Nothing in that show misses at all.
No, not at all. They haven't had one bad season. They haven't had one bad episode. Everything ties in.
Everything ties in.
It's tremendous. Like, kudos to them. They've already wrapped up or in the verge of wrapping up season 5. So we'll get that probably the end of the year this year. Look out for that. But yeah, just tremendous. Anything else? Final thoughts wise from you guys?
Nope. Good.
Nope. Zordon, you got anything?
He said no.
All right. So this week's quote of the week, everybody coming into the new year with their New Year's resolutions, and you can say what you want about New Year's resolutions. They are what they are. Some people keep them, some people make them. I don't see why you need to wait for the new year to start something. You can start it at any point in time. But
start on the weekend, that's a bad move.
But in regards to that, my quote of the week ties into it in the terms of this. If you try and fail, congratulations. Most people won't even try. You try and fail, congratulations. Most people won't even try. Try, fail, get back up, do it again, stick with it, stay dedicated in whatever your New Year's resolution is or whatever you choose to do on a daily basis. And with that, I'm a Mark, you're a Mark. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of the Dumb Marks podcast in 2022. We got a great year planned ahead. Can't wait for you guys to be along for the ride. And until next time, y'all can catch us around the way. Never.